Hello, gorgeous people. This is Elena Wilkins coming your way. I am the creator of 360-degree Impact Health program, where we teach women and men with hormone imbalances how to overcome them naturally in a matter of a few weeks, as opposed to suffering for years. So today I wanted to come into your ears, into your space, into your eyes, to talk about one thing that usually makes or breaks most of people's attempts at successful recovery, a successful reversal of hormone imbalances. So normally the people who end up coming our way have either Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, Graves' disease, infertility. They have PCOS, endometriosis, fibroid tumors, anything in between, low testosterone for guys, things like that. And we always talk about what is the best way, the best approach to dealing with their hormone imbalance naturally and quickly. So I'll save a longer presentation for another day, but I can tell you how I approach it. We approach it in several ways, and today we're going to go high tech, and I'm going to share my screen with you. So I'm going to break it down, and so it makes sense. And then I'm going to answer one question that I pose for myself, but I know all of you are asking me frequently is, how do you know if the plan that you're using to heal yourself is really going to help you or hurt you? We're going to focus on one thing today a little bit. So let me broadcast this. There should be a screen appearing now. And no, we went the other way around. So I'm going to go in a corner and I'm going to start drawing a little diagram here once I turn this off. There we go. When we look at any given thing, so most doctors, I'm going to have a line here of how most people do it versus how we do it. So them versus us. And this would make sense. So most people, when they see that there's a hormonal problem, they're going to look at things like, oh, what symptoms are you having? What numbers are showing up on your labs? And then immediately the doctors are going to say, let's give you medication, right? And then if medications don't work, there's always the surgery. Or when that no longer works, they're just telling you you're crazy, you need to go see a counselor. Seen it all the time because doctors are always certain that these two things can resolve most problems, and we know that they do not. Now, if you're happy with the medical care that you are getting, that is fine, fantastic, you can stay with that. Then we also have a more what is known as a natural approach, or although it is as far from natural as possible, this is when you're going to go see NDs, you're going to see acupuncturists and all. And I'm not saying that there's not a time and space for them. I'm saying for chronic things like hormone imbalances, normally this is not the answer either, but this is how they do it. What are your symptoms? What labs can you get me from your doctor? And then let's go and we're going to give you supplements. Right? Most of the times that's where they're going to go. And some of them are going to say, well, maybe you need to change your diet. And normally if you have a hormonal issue, you're going to hear things like keto because you want to lose weight. You're going to see AIP, autoimmune protocol. There's going to be paleo diet. There is often a high fat diet. And there is going to be Whole30 diet. I'm running out of space here, and there is almost everything in between diet. And most of you, by the time you get to us and found me or our group or our page, you've already tried this. So you might have done the medications. Oops, it went black on me. So you might have done the medications. You've already tried the surgeries, or maybe you're trying to avoid them. You've tried the supplements, and you've already tried every known diet on the planet. But God, you just don't know why you're still not getting well. And I can tell you that very, very big problem that most of them don't realize is that they don't look at the one thing that we look for is the root cause of the problem. Now, I've already given people a free training on the root cause. So if you go to my website, which is 360 impacthealth.com, you can sign up and get the free training on the root cause of hormone imbalances. So if you go there, you'll find it. However, today I want to focus a little bit on something else. So we first look at the root cause, and the root cause is telling me not what symptoms you're having, but why. We have to answer the why. What is causing the symptoms to show up first? So this becomes a huge focal point for us is why are they going on? And then once we know the why, we can start looking at the how we're going to address it. So the how comes out of why. what is causing it, and how do we address it. Now, when we know the how to address it, we have created a multi-pronged approach, and it's going to be in many directions, but I'm going to show you a couple of them today. So the first one we always look at is, how is your diet? Then we're going to look at, are there any deficiencies that were caused by your lifestyle, by your diet, or anything else? And then we'll look at other factors, such as relationships. They can be root causes of a lot of issues. There can be stress, lack of sleep. There could be some chemical exposure you had, and so on and on it goes. And we address those too. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing a training where I'm going to hyper focus on this too. And those are by invitation only. So I'm sorry if you didn't get an invite. But right now I'm just going to look at this, is how do you know if the protocol that you're following to, let's put this, I know the government does not like when I use words such as reverse, cure, or heal, so I'm not going to use them here. You can use them on your own. And by the way, this is for education purposes. This broadcast right now is not to treat, prescribe, or anything. This is visual, so you have to watch it on video too. So, but how do you, as a person who is not regulated by the government, can not only get better, but fully reverse the condition that you're dealing with? I just spoke to one of my clients that followed me for years and just now signed up to work with me. And she said when she first found me, now everybody is doing it, but when she first found me, I was the only one, the pioneer in this field, saying that I cured myself. So I'm talking about myself. If anybody is watching, I cured myself of hypothyroidism, pituitary tumor, and infertility. And then I also talk about cure and healing myself. That was another word I use frequently when I talk about myself, because I can. And that at that point, not many people were talking about that. I did, and now it's catching the momentum. A lot of people are starting to talk about that, and that is a good thing. But you've already been probably to a lot of people. And whether they're pioneers in their field or not, you've already tried things that might have been diets, they could have been medicals, medicine, surgery, or supplements, and none of them working. And you're wondering, why the heck am I not reversing my problem? So first of the things is probably they have not looked at the root cause of the problem. And the root cause is right here. And this tells us why you're sick. But when they do that, if they did this, and if you work with me, this is exactly what they do, then we create a plan that has to fall into the following criteria. Let's see. The first criteria is it natural? When you're talking about medications, not natural, even if some of them were derived from herbs. If you're talking about supplements and people think that that's natural, I can tell you that vitamin A, B, or C, or whatever else you might be taking, or fish oil or something else, does not grow on trees or does not naturally occur in nature in isolated form. So they are not natural. So then we're looking at, is it natural, first and foremost? Second of all, we're looking at this as is it common sense? When you're getting a plan from somebody that tells you, have 5 protein shakes in the morning, have 20 supplements, and go crazy in between, that is not very common sense. So something in you says it does not make sense. What I always look at, is it common sense? Does it measure up against human history? How did humans survive for thousands of years without going into the bottle like we are doing now, without going into surgeries, without losing their mind over years and years of research? So is it proven by human history? Then I do look at, is it scientifically proven? Science has to speak, but now we all know that science can be bought and sold. And oftentimes it is for sale. So when you're looking at science, you need to have an understanding of how to decipher this. We're looking at who did the research. Why did they do it? Was there any financial incentive for them to arrive to a specific conclusion? Who were the sponsors? And we're looking at how was it structured? And then we're also looking at, was it peer reviewed? These are big qualifiers. So if you read a blog somewhere and says, oh my God, somebody just told me if I take coconut oil, a tablespoon a day, every single day is amazing for me. I read a study. You have to go and measure up and look at these things. Who did it? Who sponsored it? How was it structured? Who was studied in this? And was it peer reviewed? If it doesn't answer these basic things, and if it cannot be proven over and over again, and the big thing is it repeatable? then it's probably not good science, right? There are a lot of science that we have seen where people say, okay, we've done it once, but when other people go and replicate it, they don't get the same outcomes. That was the big thing, the big studies that were done about cruciferous vegetables. Oh my God, they're bad for you. And they took some extracts, give it to some mice, and then other people go try to do this, and it does not work the same way. So it's a bunch of hoopla for nothing. So question number one, is it natural? Is your plant truly, truly natural? And by natural, again, I don't mean is it coming out of a bottle. Can you open your fridge in the morning, eat the food that you eat, and then feel great? The second one is, does it meet common sense? And within that, does it meet the requirement of human history and science? And the last thing that we're always looking at is effectiveness. Is it sustainable? So sustainability. Is it something that I can do for the rest of my life? Or is it going to be working for me for the next 3 months only? And if I quit taking this stuff, it no longer works for me. So rest of your life is very important. When I speak with people and they spend 30, 40, or $60,000 on their poor health, sustainability becomes a key. I asked somebody who is taking supplements, I said, so what happens if you stop taking this specific supplement? She said, I'm too afraid to try. I just don't know. And I heard a lot of stories, people saying, well, I need this for the rest of my life. And again, do we have the studies to prove it? Where does that belief come from? So today it's not one of those exciting Elena videos, but I wanted to show this to you that you have to consider these factors. This is how you're going to know, is your plan going to heal you or kill you? And kill does not mean overnight. It could be a long dying process. So is it sustainable? And lastly, what you want to look at, is it giving you the outcomes that you've been looking for? Or are you doing it day in and day out and there's marginal or no progress? Are you getting outcomes from this? Is it something that you can do for the rest of your life? Is it something that your entire family can do? Is it something that you can take it with you to any place on the planet? I've worked with people from 27 different countries so far. And here's what we've seen. The plan we put together works for people in Africa as well as it works for them in America. It works for them in Canada as well. It can work for them in France. So all of those things should be met. And when you're looking, if you're doing the diet after diet, and if you're doing supplement after supplement, if you're not getting better, let me turn a little bit of Albert Einstein on you. He said the definition of insanity, and we think it was him who said it, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different outcomes. So, and you probably already felt like that. Insanity is, oh my God, Elena, I'm doing this over and over again. It's not helping me. And you've tried medications, and you've tried supplements, and you've tried diets, and you've tried acupuncture, and you've tried, you guys tell me, what else have you tried? You could have tried, massage, and you might have tried chiropractic care, hoping that would cure you. You might have tried surgeries and nothing is working. So if this is not working, and I hear people that it's like, okay, then nothing works, they all give up. There's nothing else to try. And when you tell them that there's good news, something can get better, they simply don't believe it. So it's not going to work for me. It didn't work for anybody else. And that is it. So before you embark on any plan, please do me a favor, do yourself a favor and go through this list. Is my plan natural? Does it come out of a bottle or out of my fridge or off of some beautiful farm somewhere out there? Does it make common sense? Does it mean human history requirements? Science, what does it show us there? And not bad science, but great science. And if you're just logging in to catch me on this, make sure to go to the beginning of this for this makes sense. Is this sustainable? Can I keep up with this for the rest of my life? Or is it going to drive me into the poor house, the sick house, or the crazy house? And am I getting outcomes that I'm paying for, or am I walking away with nothing? So these are true form measurements of how we determine if a plan that you're doing to improve and overcome and reverse your hormone condition is something that is doable or not. I've had a lot of people who come to me and they've done the keto diet or the paleo diet. And here's what we heard from them. Oh my God, it's working. And normally it's for the first 2, 3, or 4 months. And after that, the whole system crashes and they don't know what else to do. So it's not really working. What we find is, can it withstand the test of time? And if it's not sustainable, then you should not be working it, doing that to start with. So I hope that it's helping you to get to a point of asking some real questions about what you're doing now. So if you're taking medication, tonight I want you to pull out the insert from the bottle and read all possible side effects. So you need to be educated about what's going on into your body. Look at your supplements. Do research in them. Are there going to be long-term side effects? Because there are. Vitamin D, for example, can be very harmful to you long-term. It can even calcify your arteries. What about your diet? Is it something that can keep you healthy and make you a centenarian, or is it going to make you, put you in a situation where you're going to die long? So you're going to be living a long life, but miserably because you're constantly medicating with something. Or this is just not working, or you're dying early. We had a couple of deaths in our family friend circles in the last couple of months, well, last month. So we know how that is important. And then you're looking at, are the things that you're doing, are they really working or not? And when you go through all of this criteria, and if you can say, yes, this is natural. Yes, this meets common sense. Yes, we prove through human history. Yes, science is good on it. Yes, it's sustainable. Yes, I'm going to enjoy these outcomes for the rest of my life. Then you have a golden ticket. Keep doing what you're doing because apparently it's working. If it's not working, then it's time to rethink it. So for me, we normally go back to the beginning here and we start with looking at the root cause of what is making you sick. Why are you sick? Is it your diet? Is it something that happened in your past? Is it trauma? Is this other thing? So again, if you didn't get a lesson in this, go to our website. And by signing up, you should be able to get this lesson absolutely free of charge. And then what we know why you're getting sick, then we'll look at how to reverse those conditions for the rest of your life and make them sustainable. So if you've been watching me and following me for a long time and you are like, okay, Elena, I'm finally ready to talk to you because I've tried everything else, there's a link right over this video. Click on it. You can schedule a free 15-minute call to talk to me or one of my team members to see what is really going on, what's working, what's not working. And then we can see if we can possibly help you get better. And usually if we can, we're going to invite you to a longer call where we're going to talk about how. And maybe just like one of the clients that just got off the call with, even after years of suffering, you can say, oh my God, this is actually going to work for me, and have the hope that it is going to be natural, common sense, it's going to be sustainable, and it's going to last you a lifetime. With that said, this is pretty much it for me for today. I hope that this has been helpful and educational. I want to hear your thoughts and comments right under this video. Let me know what you thought, what you walked away with, and let me know if the things that you're doing right now have checked off against these 4 things that I just covered. This is Elena Wilkins, the creator of 360-Degree Impact Health, where we teach women and men how to overcome their hormone imbalance symptoms in a matter of weeks as opposed to waiting for years and suffering and misery. You can find me at 360impacthealth.com. I wish you all a great night and a wonderful, wonderful health for the rest of your life. Bye-bye.